Welcome to the Blxxk Anime Podcast.
You see me dead, do you? Well then. Go on.
She all about that ass. That's slice of life.
Like I love Naruto. I grew up on Naruto. But like, it'll be for me. It's like I just always compared anime to Naruto.
You are now tuned into the Blxxk Anime Podcast.
Not the same.
Bro, that nigga was strong. He just got caught up by that.
Emma is Naruto.
Not the same, bro. Not even close.
I'm afraid he got
even killed him.
Definitely And that's
Get your baby, dude. Get your baby.
You are now tuned in to the Blxxk Anime Podcast.
How I irk you, bro? This is the end of the road. Afro Samurai. What's good, everybody? I want to welcome y'all back to season 3 of the Blxxk Anime Podcast. This is the season premiere, and you know it's a big day. It's a big day for this.
Yes, sir.
We were waiting for this for a while. We've been preparing for this for a long time. We're glad to finally drop it. It's it's time. It just felt like a good opportune time to do it right in August. A lot of stuff getting kicked off, and we're one of them. And but you already know it's your main man here, Aaron, aka the Lost Homie, aka the Anime Anthology, and your boy Bo.
Welcome back to season 3. It's your boy Bo, aka the Manga Mogul, aka the man who reads 1,000 things. But yeah, so glad to have you guys back.
Yeah, that. I mean, even though like we didn't take a week off or anything like that, but it still feels like this last week was felt really long. So
Yeah.
I don't know about to y'all who's listening, but to us it felt long. So and it's still a lot more you want to do. It's gonna be a great next couple of months. But honestly, y'all didn't really come here for us. Okay, I mean, I hope y'all did. I mean, I love us. I don't know if y'all love us, but y'all may come here for us. I came here for these two great guests we have today. People we wanted to kick off this season with, and not only this season, but this next step in our podcast. We have our people here from Concept Moon Studios. Somebody we've been keeping an eye on from far away, but we're glad to finally reel them in to the podcast. I'm not gonna say their names. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. So I usually do that sometimes. Let them introduce themselves. Go ahead, y'all.
Hey everybody, I'm Keith. I go by Strange Keith, and I'm the marketing director for Concept Moon.
And peace. What's going on, family? This is Brandon. I'm the CEO and editor-in-chief of Concept Moon Studios. I go by a couple different names. You can call me Brandon or Bobby. We're just here to talk and enjoy ourselves. And
Yeah, man, happy to be here.
We're happy to have you guys
definitely
here.
excited.
Y'all doing, big things. There's only a few full indie studios that we know that are doing similar stuff, but everybody's unique in their own way, and y'all definitely do it in your own way. But we gonna dig into that. We gonna get into that. But first, as always, it's a new season, but we keeping some similar structure here. We gonna start with the what's up as always, and you already know what the what's up is. What are we watching? What are we reading? What are we getting into? What's going on in our lives? Get to know us a little bit, And I'm gonna go last as always. We're gonna let our guests go first. Go ahead, Keith. What you got?
Man, nothing much. Just been working on Concept Moon stuff. We got a lot of big things coming up. I've been writing a manga, as some people know, so working on that. Still watching anime like I always do. I've been watching a lot of Ace of Diamond. That show has been insanely good. Like that, I wasn't. People have been telling me to watch that show, and I wasn't expecting. I was expecting it to be good, but I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it's been. But yeah, man, just watching a lot of Ace of Diamond. I'm kind of on some weekly stuff. Decadence. What else am I watching? Watching Apari Ranman. That's a show I kind of been I I had wanted to watch last season and it got postponed. And that was like probably the one I was the most sad about getting postponed. So I was glad for it to be back. I'm really enjoying that show too. What else? Did I say? I don't know if I said Decadence. But I'm watching Decadence.
You did.
Watching. Okay. Demon King Misfit.
The Misfit Demon King Academy. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm watching that. I started Rent a Girlfriend yesterday, and that show's hilarious. I think that's about it, or that's the kind of the key ones I've been that are fresh in my mind right now.
Oh, bet. I mean, I've been meaning to get into Ace of Diamond, because I hear it's so good. But I mean, I'll watch it sooner or later. But just to comment on Decadence right now, Rent a Girlfriend is amazing. I'm just gonna put that down right now.
Man,
it's funny. It's like all that, and I love drama, and that show is just drama.
Yeah, and I was not expecting it to be as good as I think it's only 3 episodes out right now. But those 3 episodes were way better than I was expecting them to be.
You're 100% worth the watch. And but Decadence, I'm still 2 episodes behind. I'm watching tonight. I meant to watch them yesterday, but I almost about to fall asleep. I was up late yesterday. But Decadence, episode 2. Not gonna spoil. Episode 2, and if y'all see me tweet this, it's an experience. I can't even explain.
Oh yeah, it's like it's like you get hit with a wild curveball out of nowhere, almost.
I did not expect that in any way, shape, or form. Like I don't know. I can't wait to see what else they come up with. But let's move on. Let's go, Brandon. What you got? What you been up to?
Oh yeah. So man, just doing a lot of editing. That's really all I've been doing recently. Editing. We get preparing these books for the starter, and I'm writing like 3 projects myself. I'm writing Sun Eaters, Outlaws, and I actually in Free Fall Gods, and then working on a novel as well called Instruments of Jahan. So just been a lot of writing, a lot of editing. As far as stuff I've been watching and reading recently, I've been reading the God of High School webtoon manga.
Talk to me.
Yeah, that's been crazy. I'm like 150 episodes in.
What's going on right now? Where you at?
I just got to the part where, spoilers or whatever, but he turned into the Monkey King, or they fought the Monkey King. Yeah.
Yeah, you in the mix. In the mix. That's what's up.
I was like, oh man. I was like, when I got to that part, I was just like, yeah, this shit gonna be crazy. So and I read the little mini flashback of his dad, or his granddad, excuse me. And so yeah, and I'm just like I'm like all the way invested in God of High School right now. And
God of High School's heat. I'm glad you're reading it though. That's what's up.
Yeah, like for me, like reading is like way easier because I'm so busy all the time. So like instead of sitting down and watching, I'll probably watch like a couple new episodes, and then I'll go and I'll read the whole manga because it's just a little quicker for me. So, I've been reading Fire Force, I've been reading Boruto, finished Demon Slayer. One I have been watching is Food Wars. Like I'm in season 4 of Food Wars, I think. And I didn't know that went as hard as it actually does. I was surprised. Like nobody told me about Food Wars. I think I tweeted.
Keep preaching the gospel, Brandon. Keep telling them about Food Wars.
Like,
keep telling them.
Yo, which I got a whole different perspective of it because my mom is actually a chef. So like a lot of this stuff, I kind of relate to it a little bit, and it's just like, yo, they really like this shit kind of dope. I'm actually probably one of the few people that still likes Sword Art Online. Like, I really, I'm really enjoying the Alicization.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like that's really been my bread and butter. I actually sat and watched was it Konosuba? I kind of watched that on accident last weekend, kind of just looking for something random to kill some time, and it actually entertaining. I'm kind of ashamed I liked it.
You shouldn't be ashamed. Konosuba is a victory in comedic storytelling. Okay, it hits every parody point and satire point perfectly with mainstream isekai. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I was really surprised at how well written it was to be for what it was. You know what I mean? So you hit it right on the checked every box perfect. So, some other stuff I was checking out, Goblin Slayer. I'm current on Goblin Slayer manga. I could go on for another probably 5 or 10 minutes just talking about what I've been reading. But I'll taper off right now.
Word. That's what's up.
All right, Bo.
I've been chilling, man. I'm doing good. Just working, spending time with my girlfriend, my family, stuff like that. In terms of what I've been watching and reading some of the weekly stuff. I'm a little behind on a few of the webtoons and manga. I'm like a few chapters behind of most up to date God of High School, Tower of God still on hiatus. I'm behind on Fire Force. I have been reading Blue Lock. So Blue Lock, for those who don't know, is a soccer manga. I'm hoping it could fill the void of Haikyuu. So far, it's not, but it's still enjoyable. So I'm reading Blue Lock. One thing that I've been doing that I tweeted about it from the page or whatever, and actually a few people favorited it. Have you guys been watching, or have you guys watched Pokemon Journeys on Netflix? They just put it up.
I haven't.
Yo, that thing is fire. And so they only got 12 episodes out, but it was I thoroughly enjoyed it. At the end, they have some I don't know maybe Easter eggs, I guess, of some things from the old Pokemon, which I really enjoyed. And then the last episode, or the second to last episode, there's a fight between these two Pokemon trainers. They're called Monarchs or something like that. And the fight, it was just amazing. So I really enjoyed that. So watch that. Now I'm watching Pokemon Sun and Moon. So I'm on episode 2 or 3 of that. But there's this thing called the Z moves. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it, but in the second episode, Ash and Pikachu do this crazy move, and I'm like, yo, how come the anime community do not be gassing this enough for me? I gotta find a way to find that clip and put it on the page, bro. It was amazing.
Oh my gosh.
But other than that, I'm chilling, man. What else? I'm trying to think of anything else that I've been reading. I recently caught up on this fighting manga called All Rounder Megaru, so that was pretty cool too. But that's about it for me.
Bet. For me personally, I have. Let's see. I've been binging a lot. Again, I've been getting 12 a day because I'm trying to for my Bland Anime binge challenge. I keep telling you, I'm trying to get to 400 by the end of the month. That's not happening. But
way
I think
ahead of me though.
I think by the end of this month, I'm hoping I'm at about 750. I think I hit about 350 by the end of the month. I was trying to get to 1,000. You know what I mean? I'm a competitor. That's what I am.
So
I'll play to win.
You're watching nothing but One Piece, is what you're saying.
That's actually the one I told myself I'm not gonna watch. I ain't gonna cheat. That's cheating. Got fucking 900 episodes.
Win, man.
So I've been watching. Let's see. This week has been my catch up on seasonal anime because we don't have our mid-season episode till the end of next month. So I've been kind of slow on it just because I like being able to binge it all at once because I hate waiting week to week, especially for something like Food Wars and for let's see, what was the other one? There's a few others. I just hate watching week to week. But yeah, so I caught up on Running Girlfriend. I gotta catch up on No Guns Life. That's what I'm gonna do today. But I watched the Goblin Slayer movie yesterday. It's not good, but it's whatever.
Oh, really? I was kind of looking forward to that.
It's just one long episode with a 30-minute recap in the beginning, and it was just it was so disappointing. It's just so ridiculous. It's just so disappointing. I was so sad about it. But yeah, I can't.
Does it deal with the arc where they go into the like just like a underground fortress or something like that?
Nah, this is the one where they go into the castle. And they fight the guy, the king. It's just they should.
Yeah.
My problem was they kept pushing it as a movie when it wasn't a movie. That's the problem. Like if they just called it a
It
special,
was just a long episode.
yeah. Like if it was just like, oh, the Goblin Slayer special, I'd be like, okay, yeah, that's a special, and I wouldn't have judged it as harshly. But for a movie, it was garbage. And the animation it was the same. It was like, yeah, like again, y'all just slapped the special name on the episode, so that was bad. Caught up on Shiver or Failed Night. Well, finished the whole thing as Shiver or Failed Night. It's not good. Fighting is good though, but the actual show isn't good. Last two things I gotta
You
appreciate.
didn't like it?
No, Shiver or Failed Night was bad. That was bad.
Oh man. Well, you watched the show or you was reading the manga?
I watched the show. I didn't read the manga.
Okay, I can't. All right.
The show animation was crisp for the most part, but like the actual plot, I was I liked it, but the way they like did it, there's only I think there's probably about 3 or 4 episodes I really enjoyed. The rest I was like, but the main problem was I hated the sub and the dub voices. They're both garbage to me.
Yeah.
I could not get into
that
it.
can ruin the whole show.
I could not, like my mom came in and my mom is like, she doesn't dislike anime, but she's just not somebody who sits down and watches the series, but she'll come in and watch a little bit of a show with me for like 20, 30 minutes like that. She walked in here, sat down on my couch, looked at the TV and like listens like 2-3 seconds. She's like, this sounds garbage. Like that's like what she said. And my mom has never said that. She's never stopped and said that to anything I watch. Like usually she'll like, oh my gosh, this is outrageous, but she'll never like, this is garbage. She's like, yeah, I gotta leave. Like, I'm so serious. Like she sat down for like 2 minutes and stood up and left because it was that bad. So I don't know what's up with the voices, but they were just bad. And then 2 things I gotta preach the gospel on. Well, actually like 4 things I preach the gospel on. One, Fire Force season 2. It was so good. These 2 episodes have been so good. It's made me want to go back and rewatch season 1 and then start season 2 all over again. Like that's how good it was. It's so good that I feel like I want to just have the whole experience again. That's how good it was. Okay, like Fire Force is hitting heavily right now. If you're not watching, you need to go watch. Then I think it was Keith. Was it Keith? Is it that? Oh no, it was Brandon. Sword Art Online. I get it. I understand.
Yeah, that was Brandon. Yeah.
I understand. Season 2, incest. Right. I didn't want it. You didn't want it. Nobody wanted it. Season 3 was decent. Sinan, best girl. I give it that. It was good. I like the concept. They took away a lot of the stakes. It was a fun watch. Alicization and War of the Underworld are amazing. And everybody should be watching.
Yeah, completely different experience. Yeah, completely different. It's almost like it's watching a different show completely.
Yeah, completely different. Especially the last episode, the episode where the time traveling sword, I forget his name, and the main villain fall.
Yes.
It's the only besides Fire Force, this is probably the only show this season fighting wise that has given me true goosebumps. I'm not even trying to
that might be one of the top. That might be one of the top 5 fights in the whole like series.
Yes,
like, in my opinion, like definitely.
That
was crazy.
Not only with the creativity of how the fight happened, the ending result, and then even the voice actor jobs in this. The voice actors they're on the peak of the perfection of their performances right now. Oh my gosh, the aftermath in the next episode where Alice is like, wait, so he can just come back, so he died. Oh, I don't even want to spoil it. It's so good. I need you to watch it. I don't even want to spoil it. Oh my gosh, this is so good. I might have a whole episode on Sword Art Online. Just might have to be done. Just might have to be done because it's so good.
Bring me back for that one. I want to talk all that shit.
I will. I promise you. I will hit you up.
Let me ask y'all this: If I haven't seen any Sword Art Online, could I just jump into Alicization, or I need to see all of it before that?
You could technically see it. I mean, you don't
jump. I think you could jump in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say this.
You wouldn't understand why people hold the main character in such high regard, but you could definitely watch it and understand everything.
Yeah.
All right.
But I think I always say this: watch the first season, and then you can just really skip the next two. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Because the first season, I still think it's really good. But
That's
two and three, they don't really have to
that's-
watch.
season two is that Alpine season, and that
ALO was just season two felt like it was trying to carry on what season one had, and that failed. While season three at least inserted a new system and something that was much different than season one, which is what made it interesting.
Right.
But like that's why season two just fell so flat, and then they tried to do all this edgy-ish type stuff. Even though Sword Art Online for the most part isn't edgy, and I wasn't totally mad with the full plot, but it was when they started bringing in the incest stuff and then all that. I don't need this. I can't even see a nigga just win. That's it. I didn't need that. But
So,
how I flipped it on
that's your question?
Yeah, go ahead.
With Alicization, how do you compare it to the Gun Girl on the alternate?
GGO alternate. I don't hold that as high as other people. I think GGO alternate isn't even better than the first season. I think for me right now it'd probably be like Alicization, War of the Underworld, just because we haven't seen the end of it yet. Just because we don't know how much is coming. Then it'll be season one, the GGO alternate, and then season two. Because I don't really like alternate was okay for me. I like how they really dove into the world more. I really enjoyed that. That was really fun, and it took us on a different character journey and like that. I like that, but I still don't think it was better than season three or season one. I still don't see that. It was good though.
Right.
It was good. I enjoyed my time, but that's it.
Yeah, I felt like people hyped it like way too much.
Yeah, and I think it's only because it doesn't have
it was good, but it wasn't great.
Yeah, like even though because it still has a similar type the original to SAO regular, because she's still technically OP. Like no one else moves like her. No one else in the game moves like her. So she's technically just Kirito but a rabbit. So it's like not that again. Brandon. I'm about to tell you to come back for this Sword Art Online episode. It has to be done. Has to be done.
We'll get into it.
I'm gonna put that down on the list. But last two things I want to talk about. I've read All Black Fruit by our boy Eric Aston, the Sickler villain, on Webtoon. I think we posted on Instagram too. It's a great story to go ahead and read. Need y'all to read it. The art is fantastic, and the story is really interesting. So pretty interesting right now for the first chapter that's out. Since they're dropping this on Saturday, Shrine of the Monarchs should be out by now by our boy Underdog Sports. That should be out. Art is always looking good. I haven't read it right now, obviously, because we're recording this on a Thursday, but it should be out now. So I'll really go check it out on Webtoons. Definitely worth the watch. But it's time. It's time to transition over into the interview. The reason why we got Keith and Brandon here. Now, me and Bo, we've kind of looked up, and we've been, the page has been following Concept Moon for a long time, but y'all might not know what it is. So I'm gonna ask our boys Keith and Brandon. Our first question, real simple: what is Concept Moon Studios?
Concept Moon Studios. We are one of the newest Black-owned indie publishers in America. That's the long and short of it. We're here to be content creators and build awesome stories that center around Black and minority characters. Straight up. Anything to add to that, Keith?
No, I mean that's it right there. You hit the nail on the head. That's what we do.
And I mean, as indie publishers, everybody publishes different things. What do you guys focus on publishing? We're anime podcasts. So we obviously invite you on for a reason, because we know what y'all publish for the most part. But for the listeners who don't know, what do y'all mainly publish? What type of stories and genre and stuff like that?
Yeah. So, you go ahead.
You got
it. So right now we pretty much focus on comics and manga. I guess people will debate the semantics of manga, but we right now our centerpiece is comics, but the plan is to expand into different pieces of literature, novels, poetry, cookbooks. We're looking to be a large publisher, not just of comics and manga, but of I guess kind of the written word, you could say.
Yeah, we definitely even out the gate we've already hit like every genre we could hit. We've hit American style comics. We got some more manga style books out, and we've already got like some we got a magazine out. This compilation magazine for in a Shonen Jump-esque type of magazine for Black creators from all over the world and everything. So we're hitting several different genres all at once, and so basically we got some of everything. Anything that you would want to read, we already kind of got you covered.
That's dope. That's
Word.
dope. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, that's tough. Especially like when I was just like through your content, the shonen style magazine where it has like all the stories kind of in the magazine. I think that's real dope because just off the nature of the story that you guys are bringing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, man. That the last one, Concept Magazine #2, which that's available on the website right now. That is 375 pages. Like it's really like
I saw that.
It is, when I say you sit that on your coffee table like them old J.C. Penney catalogs, like you know what I mean, like you really feel the weight of it and you see it, and it's just a ballad really to just the awesome Black creators that's out right now. Like we got people from all over indie comics in there. Even got a gentleman that's he's a Nigerian writer and artist from France that he lets us publish the American version of his comic book exclusively in Concept Moon magazine. Tough. Yeah, so we're coming with a lot of content.
How'd you guys get that partnership with France? Yeah.
So that one kind of came about because me and him actually used a mutual artist, right? So he does his book, which is Ken Bogle, if anybody's wondering. He does his book with this artist named Issaka Galadima, and he did the original concept art for the Outlaws, and that's kind of how I met him, through that gentleman. And so he linked this up, and me and him, we really built online. And he liked what we were doing. He liked where we were trying to go, and so we just decided to link up like that. So he does. We have the only American. We only have Americans. We have the only English version of his book, on online right now.
Gotcha. That's tough. I think that's dope how it happened organically.
That's fucking dope, yo. That is oh my gosh, that's fucking dope. That just amazed me. I'm just letting y'all know.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. The Concept Moon magazine, the fact that it's physical, like you said, it's 375 pages or 375 plus pages or whatever. I may gift this to somebody, and I may get a copy for myself. That's amazing.
Oh man, you definitely should. I think it's an amazing gift, especially for anybody that just really loves and wants to see more Black stories, and they don't know where to start. Man, this a great jump off point.
Word. I guess I'll just go right into the next question that we had. So you talked a little bit about just what Concept Moon is for those listening. I know we got Brandon and Keith, but I know on the website at least, you guys are a team of 4. So I was just kind of wondering, we were just kind of wondering, how did your team come together, all of you guys?
So I'll take that.
I'll let Brandon go. I was the last one to come in, so I'll let Brandon start.
Yeah, so Concept Moon is kind of like it was a labor of love between me and my best friend Corey. His name Corey Lewis. Me and him were in the Air Force together, and so we started working on Frontline Soldiers probably like 12 years ago. Really kind of playing with the idea of writing a comic book and doing that kind of thing. But that was when we were really young. We were 22, 21. We barely didn't have no money. Like we didn't know how to do it. So so in 2017, we officially kind of just like, yo, man, let's really try to put this book out. So we linked up with this awesome artist from Nigeria named Tachukwu Osakwe. You can Optimus Riga on IG, and so the three of us really just sat down and we kind of talked, and we was like, look, this is what we're trying to do. This is where we're trying to go. And we started building together like that. Then I met Mike over at Blxxk Anime Podcast, and he had us on, and we were talking about some of the stuff we were trying to do at the time. This was back in 2010. We were beginning of 2019. We were talking about the Kickstarter we had going at the time, actually, yeah. And he was just, just building with me about how we wanted to change things in the industry and in storytelling in general. And I guess that's where Keith can kind of jump in, because he kind of heard us. He heard us on that podcast. And so yeah, I'll let Keith tell that part.
Yeah. So well, in kind of late, was that 2018? I think that was 2018. So late 2018, I entered this contest with this company, they produce, they're a Black-owned company as well that produces manga, but they had a contest for new stories, and I submitted to their contest, didn't win. I had some friends who submitted as well, so I was like, well, none of us, made it even to the finalists for this, so why don't we, try and start our own company up, like our own kind of magazine. My idea was to go for like a Shonen Jump kind of thing. And so kind of in the midst of me trying to put everything together, I'm listening to, me and Blxxk Anime have been cool for a little while now. And like when they start, I'm listening to this episode that Brandon's on. I'm like, he's kind of, they're doing the same thing that I've been kind of trying to put together. So I go to the website, check them out. Everything looks, really great. So I hit Mike from Blxxk Anime. I'm like, hey, could you connect me with Brandon? And he did. And it was kind of, it's history ever since. I kind of called. Well, I text you first, right? I think I text Brandon first. It's like, hey, do you have a second for me to call, and we could chop it up for a second? But you guys have been doing something that I've been trying to do. So instead of me, trying to create from scratch, can I join you guys and bring to you guys what I can bring to the table, and we can kind of help each other instead of being each other's competition,
Word. That's tough. I think it was dope that one, that you're able to reach out to a mutual connection with Blxxk Anime. And it's just dope, because it's just cool to see resources coming together and using each other, especially in our community, like just to see resources using each other and coming together rather than, just think they have to be the only ones or try to do it themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the big things I learned kind of around that same time was community and not competition.
Word.
Even if you guys are kind of doing the same thing, you can still support each other rather than trying to destroy each other. So that's, I guess the timing of me learning that was perfect, because that's kind of what made me reach out to Brandon. Was like, we community, we don't have to be competition. We can help each other out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's always been my personal goal. Like when it comes to, doing this, everything I'm trying to do with Concept Moon is about building a platform for other Black voices. If we grow, as one of us grows, all of us grows. You know what I mean? So
yep.
it can't be singular. I can't be about self. We can't be about, we gotta eat everything. We can't share, because it don't work that way. That's not the way the world works. So when he reached out to me, at first I was like, hey, Mike up. I was like, yo, who is this who is this cat you got talking to me right now? You know what I mean? He was like, no, it's my boy. And he vouched for him. I was like, all right, cool. So I sat down with him. Like from the very first conversation we had, I was like, yo, this dude's the perfect piece. Because me and Corey, we had been talking internally about, yo, we might need another person that can handle so many things. Because me and Corey are both overseas. Like I'm actually in Saudi Arabia right now.
Wow.
Yeah. And Corey's in Italy at the moment, I believe. So we had been going back and forth about whether or not we should try to, kind of link up with somebody that can handle some of the stateside requirements. You know what I mean? Because we were missing a lot of like appearances. We had been invited to a couple of different conventions, and we just couldn't go for just travel reasons. You know what I mean? And so when he reached out to us, it was just like the universe. Like I'm really big about like manifesting what you want and manifesting what you need. And I have been focused, on trying to find somebody that could really like come in and compliment us. And he just hit us up. And the first conversation we had, it was just like, yo, this is it. Like I knew from jump. And so yeah.
We
then we gave him some bullshit
conversation too.
Yeah, we gave him some bullshit. Like, yeah, man, we gotta give you a trial period. But I already knew. I was like, yeah, this dude about to get in and really make it happen. So yeah, it's been history ever since. So
Word. Dang, that's crazy. I didn't know you guys were overseas. Well, yeah. So thank you both for your service. That's first and foremost. But that's crazy, man. Like I can only imagine how being overseas just presents a whole different dynamic to running a business, especially one being stateside, especially just the nature of the business. Like you said, like, people having to go to fairs and go to conventions, and just the nature of just like the field that you guys are in. It's very personable. Like people have to see you per se. So
yeah. Especially in our community, I feel like people really need to feel like they need to feel you tangibly. They need to be like, I went and I saw them and they got real product and they like cool people. So it was just crazy because since we linked up with Chris, we've like the team that we've built, it has grown, and we've been just kind of filling out all of the weaknesses as we've been rolling. So
gotcha.
It's been a wonderful process, it's such an organic process too. Like that's really, I think the big positive of all of it. None of it was forced.
Yeah.
And big shout out to Mike too.
Straight up.
Because when I asked
Don't shout
Mike,
that nigga out on here.
I was
Don't
about
call
to
him.
say. He gonna get on air for the Yamcha.
Come on now. That's like summoning a demon. What the hell? Don't do that.
Yeah, I know he can be a nuisance, but man, he when I asked him to connect me with Brandon, like he didn't hesitate at all. So that's my guy, but I really appreciate him for that because he really didn't. He hit me next day like, hey, you can call him. He's expecting your call. It took him no time at all. So
dope. I mean, we joke a lot, but that's one of the things we really love about being a part of this community of podcasters. Even with Mike and Mike Check and Worst Gen and Anime T, and I could just keep going. I could just keep dropping hits. And the best part is that we all not only help each other compete against each other, but I got like when I was talking to my people, I was talking to Shade of Red. We got was it Shade of Red? No, it was Gray. Gray. We was talking for Gray. We got him first, but we already knew. We talked to him. Then Anime Lately gonna talk to him, and then at some point, more than likely, where's Jen might have him on, and then this first time because we all like, and it's all like we want those people, those creatives, we want them to succeed. So we'll give them as many chances as we can, and with everybody to get that audience to be successful. So yeah, I love it. I love it.
Beautiful thing, man.
Mike's shiny bald ass head. I mean, still love the nigga, all right. But
I just want to take a second and just remind Mike that the Cowboys suck and slide that in there real quick.
Oh shit. Okay.
You know who that came from too.
All right. Next, let's move on. How many? So what we want to know is, so I got like a series of 3 questions. Y'all kind of go together. First things first, I want to know how many titles are currently being made at Concept Moon.
Ooh. Independent titles or independent issues?
That's a good question.
Yes, we have some that are standalones, and then there's some that are like in the magazine, so they're not standalones, or
that's a good,
at least just yet, but they we produce them.
Let's say standalone. Yeah, I feel like the magazine's gonna be hard, so let's say standalone.
Standalone titles, you got Free Fall Guides, Frontline Soldiers, Sun Eaters, The Outlaws, Black Lotus Dragon coming.
All right.
Maybe that might have been this. I thought, did I ruin the surprise?
No,
you?
No, you ruined nothing.
Bro,
Oh man, fumbled on the 2-yard line. But yeah, no, those are our big 5 right there.
I mean, we
got a lot of stuff in work.
Okay, all right. You don't gotta tell us that. I mean, actually, you do. I love the secrets. I love the spoil. If you want to spoil, go ahead. You want to give us a Black Anime exclusive.
I'll give you one exclusive. We got this big crossover we're doing with Wingless Comics in October called Nightfall, and it's so that's a little exclusive I can drop a little nugget on right now. Which more information to come about that later. That's gonna be real big. It's Wingless Comics, Concept Moon, Constant Hustle crossover.
Oh, we gotta get the little soundbite in. We got the what's the soundbite? That was a Black Anime exclusive. Next question I got just goes into it. So since you told us how many titles are going under there, I want to know if y'all had to pick one of them, and I don't know if this is gonna mess all up. What is your favorite title under Concept Moon right now, and why? Now, again, remember, we got questions to ask at the end, so don't go ahead and fumble the bag. You're doing the questions at the end, all right?
You can go, Keith.
Let's see. I think my personal favorite right now out of what's out would be man, that's a tough question.
Yeah, that's why I let you go first.
That's a tough question. But you know what? I'm gonna say Outlaws. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Outlaws. Yeah,
I mean that's a great story, and not just because I write it.
Yeah, Outlaws was probably the first one where I was like, oh yeah, I want to, and no offense to the other stories, like all the stories are great, but Outlaws really made me like, oh, okay, I definitely want to see where this one's heading.
That's a great comment. So I would say my favorite is probably Frontline Soldiers, just because it was the first one we did. That was like our baby. You know what I mean? Like we built that one. That's the one we kind of started the dream with, 10, 12 years ago. And we're rolling with still. So that's probably my favorite. Shout out to Corey. He writes that one. It's such a fun book. It's very fun. It's very witty, and good action, great action. The artist does a great job with that one. So that one just looks amazing. Like
the art.
There's so many. Awesome. Yeah, there's so many pages I just want to take out and like make posters out of, because the art is wonderful. So yeah, that's probably my favorite right now.
All right, that's a bet. So, okay, y'all did good. Y'all ain't spoiled, but I mean that's interesting. I'm definitely gonna for me, one of the things I'm big on, if you guys, people follow us, I know every time I get something that's Black, creator or something like that, I'll throw it up so y'all know where to get it, what it's about, all that. So I got to pick up from y'all. I got to pick up from Noir. I got to pick up from a few people. Let's just say I'm moving soon. I'm going to get myself a bookcase, and that bookcase going to be filled.
Oh,
okay?
Gotta be filled. Yep.
It's going to be filled. Okay. So, yeah, I can't wait to read all those. Now, next question, again, that kind of comes in that little package is how do you say with your creations and the creation of these comics, how do you feel like your personal experiences have influenced the creation of them?
Good question. I can say all my personal experience, like everything I've gone through, like in life, relationship, everything, definitely bleeds into the stories I write. I think that every character I write has like a piece of my personality, and a piece of my life experience wrapped within it. So it's definitely, when you read my books, you're getting Brandon in some form. Yeah. Keith?
Yeah, I mean, I echo that. At least for my main characters, a lot of me goes into them. But I'm very perceptive of like the world around me. So, for me, it's like a lot of the things that I see kind of go into it, just as much as I go into it, I guess, if that makes any sense. Yeah, that's a tough question to really dig into.
Man, I got like 5 characters based off me in our universe. Like I'm like, it's all good.
Yeah, because I kind of, a piece of me goes into, all of my non-villain characters, I guess I'll say. But I don't know. I also try to write in a way where I'm not just writing like, I don't want my writing to be like, what would I personally do in this situation? I try to make it different. So that can, I don't know, sometimes that can be a little tough to kind of step outside of myself to make the approach. So I guess that helps me as a person as well, I guess you could say. But yeah, I hope I answered that question right. That's a tough question.
It's such a fun process, like writing these characters when they completely different from you,
Right.
And then you can just be like, yeah, I'm about to do something. What would the evil twin version of me do in this scenario? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's such a interesting process, especially when you're doing you're managing multiple characters at once.
Right. And for me, sometimes like I'll get so kind of caught up in the writing that I don't even, I'm just trying to write what I feel like is good and what flows organically, but I'm not necessarily thinking, what would I do? I'm kind of thinking, I guess I try to put myself into the character shoes. Well, I guess that's the same thing I was saying earlier is, trying to step outside of myself. So I'm trying to put myself into the shoes of the character, even though I've created this character, who's, similar to me in a lot of ways, but also different from me. I try to step into their shoes, almost like in the way that an actor might step into the shoes of the character they're playing in a movie, and really try to become that character rather than, that character being me, if that makes sense.
And that makes a lot of sense. I mean, because y'all both. I mean, Keith definitely knows because he follows my personal too. But like I'm writing a few stories, and I finished writing one, and I'm working on getting that published. That's a conversation. But when I write them, like in a lot of ways, it's like I'm not thinking necessarily of myself. I'm thinking of like I want to make like the best character that I think will like work well for the story that they fit in. But I think I think you always kind of find some things do bleed whether you want to or not. Like it's a few times, few of my characters, because I have about 3 right now. 2, especially the last 2 I just made. A lot of their feelings or emotions toward things I found myself, they match up with me. I find they match up with me. Like I read it and I'm looking at it, I'm like, damn, I'm glad that nobody really know me like that. Because if they did, they see I'm talking about myself. Like I feel, you know, one of those times you hit like one of those quotes, one of those really hard lines, and you're sitting there, you just sit there and look at it, and you're like, damn, I wish I knew this when I was growing up. I wish I knew this, like saying it kind of like in your way to like your past self. So I can understand that. I understand like the distinction and also, but also kind of how it bleeds in ways that you wouldn't expect it to. All right, but you got the next one.
But yeah, that's that. Is that not? That's like the moral obligation as a writer, right? When you talk about how things bleed in the messages you're trying to get across.
Yeah. That's heavy. All right, go ahead, Bo.
So both you guys obviously are creating your own titles. Keith, I think if you could give me your titles again, Brandon, I think I know the titles you got, but with the titles that you guys created, what are your inspirations for them, like for the titles themselves in terms of like the stories, like what are the inspirations behind the stories? I know you guys mentioned like you guys write into the characters and stuff, but like for the stories, like in totality, do you guys have any inspirations for those?
Yeah, so so I guess this will be kind of exclusive for you guys now, because I actually no one really knows the title for my manga outside
this
of
is a Black
like the
Anime
company and a handful of friends.
exclusive.
Yeah, so but I think it would be good to announce the title here. So my manga that's dropping is going to be titled Black Lotus Dragon.
Oh, actually, you know what? Brandon actually said it by accident. Then,
yeah. Yeah. So he's. And
you had to remind him, huh? Man.
Yeah, I was going to say it eventually, but yeah. So Black Lotus Dragon is the title. As far as the story, so this story is set in California during the gold rush, so it's 1849 is when it starts. And my main character is a Black woman who is a former slave. And what I wanted to do,
Yeah, you about to shake the room.
and that's kind of what I wanted to do, but I wanted to have a story that had a Black woman lead, but she was, and we're used to like that strong Black, fierce Black woman, and she is that. But I also wanted to have a story where you see a very human side of Black women, because we don't get to see that a lot in narrative stories. And it's kind of it's kind of like almost an homage to the women in my life, I guess, because I've been fortunate enough to have like some really amazing women in my corner. Like, just my mom and my friends and my girlfriend, like just a lot of amazing women around me. And I feel like their stories don't get told enough. So that's kind of something that I really wanted to do. And it's, and I'll consult with them sometimes when I hit like a rut or something in writing. And then also because, I'm a Black man, and I don't know fully, the Black woman experience. So I run into hiccups at times writing it, because obviously I'm not a Black woman. So, sometimes I'll need to reach out to somebody to get some perspective on something.
Word. Dang, bro. Oh, snap, my fault. Dang, bro, that's amazing. I think it's dope. Well, one, I think it's important, I guess I would say, that you're doing the consulting, like in terms of reaching out to the Black woman in your life, because I think that's that's crucial, right? Because like you said,
Right.
you aren't a Black woman, you're a Black man, but So granted, you do have a shared experience through your color, but still, just the lens that you guys experience life is still totally different. So,
and I think that's very important because it's something I think about too. Is when I write my characters. I'm in this other Discord with it's called Written in Melanin. If you don't know about that, it's like this woman. Her name is, well, I think her husband. Her name is Chelsea. She like runs this. She does a lot of stuff. She's working on a library of like Black writers who write novellas and regular novels and all that. She's working on making an online library for all that. She's working on doing a lot of great stuff. And I'm in this Discord with her. I'm at the link y'all, especially since since Brandon, you writing that novel, I'm at the link y'all. But she's doing all this great stuff. And I was in a chat with her today. And we were doing like some writing sprints and like that, and I stopped because I was like, I need your help with something because I'm a Black man. I'm making this character, and it's like this. I want a character that's kind of feminine and sexy and like that. So it's a woman, and I'm like, I don't know how necessarily how to write that without your input, without someone's input. Like I need that. So yeah, I mean it's important. It's important, and it's I said this before, but it just shows how much you care about not only the authenticity but the quality of what you're trying to write. Like it really speaks on it, and it like gives it like a lot of can't think of the right word for it. Can't think of the right word for it, but it gives it like a lot of validation. That says validation for the story also.
Yeah, and I wanted to make sure that like, because you usually in a lot of things you can tell when a woman character is written by a man most times, and I and like I don't want that, even though I do have a woman character who is mainly who's written by a man, but I want her to be authentic. I don't want her to seem like she's written by a man. So that's something that I feel is really important.
Next, I want to ask, as a publisher, the first thing question I want to ask is, how do you feel about the bigger comic publishers like Marvel, Image, DC, all of them? How do you feel about them?
They're dying. Resoundingly dying. Like,
wow.
Yeah, that's my look on it. Like Marvel and DC is dead. Like they just like, it's kind of at this point they're just using the movies to prop up the comic books, and the comic book stories are trash right now. Marvel and DC are dying, and it's time. This is the time for us as indie creators, Black, whatever, to really step our game up and kind of fill that void, because people aren't really going to them for quality stories. I mean, what's the last great storyline that was in Marvel or DC for real? Like, I mean, they can't keep rebooting and telling the same stories over, force diversity and all that kind of stuff. Characters that don't really represent who they're supposed to represent. They're dying. That's my feeling.
Ooh, that's heavy. That's some heavy words right there. Wow.
I would agree with that. I do think, at least, I think for DC and Marvel, the movie carrying them right now. And I mean, kind of evidence of that is that the whole thing that kicked off the movies for Marvel, which was Blade, the movie Blade saved Marvel from bankruptcy. So
I remember that. Yep.
That's kind of a tell that the movies are really carrying them right now, because if they hadn't made that Blade movie, Marvel might not even be around still right now. Who knows if Disney would have still ended up buying them, whatever. So I mean, I agree with they're kind of, at least in print, they're in a very, very rough time right now.
My personal goal is to be the person that throws the dirt on their grave.
Oh shit! Well, before you continue,
that just give me straight Karapika vibes. Just pulling up with the shovel.
The shovel. With the shovel. Before you go with that, because my question next, my next question was going to be, how do you believe that Concept Moon would change the publishing world? You just kind of gave us a little hint to what to your expectations, your goals.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Look, man, I'm a competitor. Like, you know what I mean? I came from a sports background. You know, my family's competitive, you know, and it's like anything I'm doing, I'm trying to be the best at. And if you're trying to be the best at it, that means you got to knock off the greats. You know what I mean? Jordan had to go through the Pistons. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's how I look at it. I'm trying to, with Concept Moon, be the next big thing. I want to be as synonymous with comic books and manga and black creativity as Marvel and DC is with comic books right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're doing everything in house. We're putting this thing together. We're bringing in black creators, and it's real. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real. We all learn from the Milestone experience, how dope they did it, and then how they kind of fell apart too. So you got to learn from how the greats fall off. So yeah, no, that's it for me. Like, I feel like we're gonna change. We're gonna keep bringing in amazing stories. We're not gonna do we're gonna do some, I guess, would it be some standard like story tropes and stuff, but we're gonna do it in a new creative way. We're gonna do it with fresh characters and fresh stories and fresh voices, and we're not gonna be afraid to take risks. So that's how we change.
I love that energy. I love that energy.
Yeah,
I
definitely
love competition. I'm using that sound bite. This
You know,
this gonna be
that sense of competition though.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, like, even in that sense of competition, I want everybody to know it's all love. Like, I'm definitely in that space where we're gonna knock your head off, and then we're gonna help try to pick you up, and we're gonna dust you off, and be like, this is what you got to do.
For sure, man. That's what's up.
That's gonna be the soundbite I use for the what's the word, to promote this episode. Except I'm gonna cut off the part where he says all love. We don't need that part. We need everything else. I'm gonna stop it right there.
Hey,
they're gonna be like, it's all coming at y'all heads, nigga. I mean, pull up with the ratchet. Next, let's see. Next question. All right, Bo, you didn't ask that question yet? We got like a whole list of questions up right now. Bo, you didn't ask that question?
Did I? No, I don't think so.
All right, go ahead.
I don't think Brandon got to answer the story inspiration question either. I think I might have talked to him.
Oh, you're right. Okay. All right, Brandon, give us your inspiration, and then Bo's gonna ask his next question that you know what? Never mind. Go ahead.
Well, so with the Outlaws, that inspiration was really kind of my family, my nucleus. You know what I'm saying? So the Outlaws is very much based on me and my wife and my kids.
Gotcha.
So it was just really, it was kind of like, oh man, what would be the process for a family that finds out they all have superpowers? You know what I mean? And then they on the run. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how that came about. And so yeah, that's really kind of for that one. Now, Sun Eaters was kind of like Sun Eaters was based off of Dragon Ball Z, like years ago, right? I wrote this really long, like, fan fiction, whatever, and I ended up just taking the fan fiction I made and then turning it into an original project with original characters and making a lot of changes to fit within the bigger Concept Moon universe. So now it's completely original, you know, and so that you will see that reflected in the art for the first two issues. It's very much reminiscent of the Dragon Ball Z style because I wanted to, you know, show love and pay homage to that because that's where it came from. But the art style is going to be changing going forward. It's going to look completely different, and it's going to be bringing in a lot of more original looks to it. So for Free Fall Guides, that's really kind of my military experience coming through, like, in a futuristic way, right? Because Free Fall Guides is one of our few stories that's completely standalone. Like it doesn't fit into the bigger Concept Moon universe at large. Same way with Black Lotus Dragon and like a couple other things that haven't come out yet. But it's just I just wanted to do a really cool take on halo jumps and high hole jumps. So which is, if you don't know, that's high altitude, low opening jumps. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was kind of the inspiration for that. I ended up going to indoor skydiving place down in Florida last time I was in the States, and then going out and work and talking to a bunch of professional skydivers, and talking about how the feelings of and the rush they get from it. And I just I really kind of wanted to show that artistically, and then add in some really good action. There's a lot of stuff like current event stuff that leads up to how that world is like an alternate world. So yeah, that's kind of those are my big three right now. So I'll just leave it at that. Anything else, it'll be a bit of a spoiler for later on.
For Sun Eaters, you immediately kind of can see the inspiration from Dragon Ball. But I mean, I gotta read it because it looks like a really interesting story. But yeah, I that's the first thing I saw. I mean, because your art style definitely is similar, but it looks like it definitely has its own take on that story. So definitely got to read it. That's definitely something I'm gonna pick up.
Yeah,
within the next few weeks.
It's exciting. Like I said, I took some cues from it initially, but like it's its own read. So when you read it, you'll see. So you'll enjoy it. I'd love to hear your take on it after you get your hands on it.
Word. I'll hop right into the next one. So I guess Brandon, you kind of touched on it in terms of like just the energy you have for the studios. But when people read a work from Concept Moon, I guess what should they expect? Or like what's the vibe? Concept Moon Studios. What's the vibe they put off in their work?
Passion, originality. I think that even like I said, even if when we take things, we inspire by certain things, and we put our own spin on it. And everything we do it with the greatest intentions to do something for the culture, but actually, be original and just show people like, hey, there's another way to do it, there's another way to tell stories than what you've been getting. And there's a lot of great indie comics out right now. But we just carving our own lane. So come over here, enjoy it, and just digest what we're doing. And that's it, really.
Word.
Keith, you got anything to add for like your stories? Like, what do you want people to get out of them?
He pretty much hit the nail on the head. I think passion's a big one. Because I feel like if the audience can feel your passion through your work, that makes the experience that much more better for them as an audience, and it makes their experience with your work, much more intimate. So passion is definitely a big one. I know for Black Lotus Dragon, so my main character's name is April, and what I want for her is for when people like read the story, I want her to get kind of the same feeling that they got when they were introduced to like Sailor Moon. Like I want iconicism. Like I want people to feel like, oh yeah,
that's tough.
This is something. Yeah, like this is something. I know I'm gonna want to keep up with. This is something that like I want pictures of her all over my walls and stickers of her on my laptop, and I want to decorate whatever I can, with her face on it, or I want her on a shirt, or all of it. Like I want the way that people kind of have this obsession with Sailor Moon, where they might have all the toys and all the manga, that I want them to want that same thing with April.
That's tough. I think the Sailor Moon comparison, like once you said that, I was able to quickly understand what you meant. Like that made perfect sense. That made perfect
Yeah, and
sense.
she's not like Sailor Moon. She's probably like complete opposite of Sailor Moon, to be honest. But
you want the iconicism
Sailor Moon is kind
that
of
comes to
the
Sailor Moon.
metric. Yeah, exactly. So I'm using Sailor Moon as the metric for where I want her to go.
That's oh my. Guess you get me excited, man. Every time we talk, every time we bring somebody on here, they get me excited about what they're doing. I'm excited. And since you're talking about your manga, that was kind of like our next series of questions to ask. I'm going to mention real quick. I'm going to mention that on August 7th, Keith, Brandon Concept Moon dropping a Kickstarter for 3 titles. Something that we were told before. So we wanted to kind of ask you about the Kickstarter and what 3 titles are going to be included with that Kickstarter.
So it's 4 titles. It's going to be 4 titles.
Oh, 4. My fault. 4 titles.
For the Kickstarter, and we'll be featuring Frontline Soldiers issue 3, Black Lotus Dragon first edition, and then people will be able to get the Outlaws #1 and Sun Eaters #2 physical copies as standalones. So currently they're in Concept Moon. Those 2 are in Concept Moon magazine issue 2. But we're going to do a print run of those 2 as standalones. So Kickstarter is pretty much you can get all of them physical copies, and then we'll have some other goodies in there. We're trying to get we'll have shirts, we'll have posters. We're working on some other stuff like backpacks or playing cards. But yeah, we're trying to get people, all in. We want people to have not just the books, but also have merchandise that correlates with everything as well. So
yeah, one of the best packages I think we'll offer is the opportunity to have yourself drawn into a poster with whatever in the art style of whatever story you like. I think that's one that I think is gonna be really good.
That's dope. I want everybody know that's listening. When the Kickstarter drops, I mean, of course, on our Instagrams and Twitter, we'll definitely share it, promote it as much as we can. But you'll also be able to go on our website, go under the Spotlight page, and you'll see the links for the Kickstarter, and also information about it if you want to help support them. Because I mean, making these awesome stories it's not free. But it's I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you want to support. You know what I mean? Making amazing stories that you can pass down forever, like to your kids.
Ever?
Forever? You know what I mean? Also support your local Black business as always. Okay. And but yeah, we're excited for this. We're excited to support it, excited to get it out into the atmosphere, get out into the world. And yeah, I just let y'all know, keep look out for that link on August 7th. It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be in your face. As always, because Concept Moon, again, they're our spotlight. I didn't say this in the beginning, but Concept Moon, they're our spotlight for the month of August. So you're going to see information about them. If they give me something to say, it's going to be out there. All right. It's going to be our spotlight. So we're going to be pushing them hard this whole month. And yeah, all right. So we have a few questions. We have one question because Keith been talking about the manga. We had questions specifically for it, but he been answering them. I'm not mad at him. We have questions for it. But Bo we got one more question specifically to you, Keith, about your manga. Go ahead, Bo.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So the question we had was, what anime or manga would you say has influenced your writing?
Man, for me, a lot of Tagashi. So Yu Yu Hakusho, Hunter x Hunter, especially as far as like story structure and art goes. Man, what else? honestly, so Black Lotus Dragon is kind of it's on the action side, but I've gotten some inspiration from like Fruits Basket, um, anime like Place Further Than the Universe. Um, what else? It's man. Recently there's been some like I don't know tidbits of Ace of Diamond because kind of just because that's what I'm watching. But yeah, I mean I try to pull elements that I like from any type of genre, as long as the storytelling's good. And then because my style of writing, inspiration really, I guess, is I kind of pull bits and pieces that I like from a lot of different places that may not really be similar, and then I kind of find a similarity between them to make them fit together. Um, so yeah, I get inspiration from places where it's like, you know, it it seems like I wouldn't draw inspiration from there, but uh, I find a way to make it work. But yeah, definitely a lot of Tagashi. For me, as far as manga and anime, Tagashi is like probably one of, if not the one of the best storytellers that I've come across.
That's
I
good. That's
agree.
good.
He's definitely up different storytellers.
That's the good shit. You said I heard Fruits Basket. I'm the slice of life junkie on the squad. You heard Fruits Basket, so we're gonna get some
Okay.
that romance. I love a good romance. So
Yeah,
you got
yeah. It'll be some pieces. It won't be a whole lot of romance in there. Definitely gonna be pieces.
okay. I'm with it. I'm with it. I got two more questions. Two more questions, and then we're gonna head over to the news. Um, Lastly, so our feature content this month, if you go on our website, you can see it and read about these, read about the descriptions a little more. But our feature content for this month from you guys is Free Fall Gods #1 and Frontline Soldiers #2, part 2 of 2. Can you tell us what to expect from these series?
Um, Brandon's a little bit familiar with those. He might be a little better equipped uh, to answer that than me if he's still here.
Well, frontline soldiers, you gonna get action. You getting action out the door. Um, it's a team building. So frontline soldiers is kind of the coming together. The first two issues of the coming together of the team. You're getting a lot of action as soon as you start reading the book. A lot of great one-liners and things like that. It's a very fun story. And so yeah, that's my big thing. I think with this particular issue, you're gonna get a lot of fun. You're gonna get a lot of good one-liners, a lot of good action, great artwork. With Free Fall Guides, it's full story building. You're gonna get you're getting this perspective in the main character's life in different intervals, like before he starts his big journey to become one of the elite SPAC officers. Story, which SPAC is single person air combat officer. So it's a very interesting story. It's a story of overcoming, and yeah, I think that's really the best way to sum it up. It's him overcoming the odds to get where his ultimate goal.
Mm-hmm. They both sound really dope. I was reading the description for it, and I read it a few times after Keith sent it to me, and I was like, damn, I need to read these. I need to pick these up like yesterday. Like I need them today. Like not tomorrow. I need them today. And the art from the covers, they both look fantastic. Definitely, rivaling, Marvel and DC on 100%. And all, Image and all the other ones. Definitely rival them, getting up there, and happy to see. I can't wait to pick them up myself. If you guys want to read more about the series, you can go to our website and see it under our spotlight page. Or you can go straight to the head and go Concept Moon, it's conceptmoonstudios.com and look at it there too. But whichever one you want to choose. All right. Next, last question we got for y'all is, what are the next steps for Concept Moon? So, a lot of things are going on in the world right now, and COVID, COVID not ruining a lot of shit and all that, but we still got to keep moving. We still got to keep grooving. We still got to keep making that money, keep doing what we got to do, making these series, making this everything. So like, what are the next steps for, Concept Moon?
We're just gonna keep building this world, that we diving in, we've been living in, and consistent. So we're gonna be bringing in probably somewhere between 4 and 6 new titles next year. And so we're just growing. We're just trying to build. We're trying to build, and we're trying to grow in a sustainable manner.
That's amazing. You said 46 next year.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big year.
Yeah, we cooking, man. Cooking. Yeah, for me, moving forward, I'm a writer, but I'm also the marketing director. So, for me, it's growing our audience. Getting a greater visibility. This year we had planned on hitting, a couple of cons, but the state of the world has changed that. So we've been kind of working on our pivot to where we're still getting more eyes on us without that presence of cons. So it's been a lot of strategy and kind of trying to network and get into different places where we can build a larger community online, since we can't go out and do it location to location. So
yeah, it's definitely, like you said, it's all about, like you said, in the beginning, we want to be tangible. We want people to be able to see us and feel us, and feel the passion we're bringing to how we're building and what we're trying to do, for storytelling in general, but for Black storytelling specifically. You know what I mean? So yeah, growth is everything.
I love that. I love to hear that. Like 100%, everything y'all been saying, not only about Concept Moon, but about your own works and about your own mindsets for everything. Like, damn, like I love it. I love it. I love the way that feels.
Yeah, Sam. It was a dope. This was a dope conversation for sure. Just like hearing your guys' more thought process, a little bit more about you guys. But yeah, no, just like Aaron said, I'm sure you guys are gonna be successful in this next year, and just as you guys keep growing and keep gaining your audience. So, but yeah, and I do also want to thank you guys again for just coming on. So,
thanks again for having us, man. It's been an amazing conversation, and I've really had fun talking to y'all.
Yeah, likewise. I really do appreciate you guys taking the time to allow us to come up here and talk our shit on y'all's. That's always fun.
And this for us, this is like me especially, this is big in my opinion, because this and I think about like 10 other studios or people create content creators. We've had y'all on our calendar for like 3 months, right? And our calendar,
because we had talked like 2 months ago about something, but we hadn't set the date. But it was we had talked about it a while ago.
I'm gonna just let you know our calendar has changed at least 4 times within like 2 months. It's changed a lot.
Oh wow.
But we wanted you. I think I've especially wanted y'all on for a long time. But we try to do everything at its own pace. But sometimes it's not your timing. Sometimes the big guy upstairs, he's the one that makes the timing for you. And so y'all got here when y'all got here, and I'm so happy to have y'all here when y'all do, especially since y'all dropping the Kickstarter soon. And then Keith, I know you dropping the manga, but in like 2 months, 2-3 months. That's the goal. Yeah. So like it's
so it's in the Kickstarter, and then once the Kickstarter is over, it'll drop. So yeah.
So it's my timing may not be perfect, but oh my gosh, as Pastor oh my, I don't forget his name right now.
J Rock.
J Rock, as Pastor J Rock would say, God's timing is perfect. So really happy to have y'all on. Glad we got to have this conversation. Now we're going strictly. Wow, that's not a word. We're going to quickly transition into news. We're going to go through news, and then we're going to hit last words as usual. We have a good amount of news today, so I'm going to try to just run through this motherfucker. I'm going to try to get through it. A lot of cool, interesting stuff happening out of Japan, and a lot of funny stuff happening too. A few things made me laugh when I was just looking at myself. First, we have Goro Miyazaki says he's confident in upcoming Earwig and the Witch CG film. Now, Earwig and the Witch is the new film that's coming from. Oh my gosh, I can't remember nothing today. Can't remember it. I'm sorry, but it's a new film that's from a very popular, very 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 popular publisher. That is like, I'm gonna kick myself because I'm gonna remember this as soon as the episode's over. I'm like, boom, that's the studio. But it's kicking myself.
Ghibli. Is it Ghibli?
Ghibli, yes, Studio Ghibli. Yeah, thank you.
Because that sounds like you said, Goro Miyazaki. I think that's Hayao Miyazaki's son. It
is, and there was an article about it, but I lost him, so whatever. I lost it, but so it's whatever. But yeah, Studio Ghibli. I'm excited for it. It looks similar to the Lupin movie that I still haven't seen yet either. But the Lupin movie CG was amazing, and I still need to watch that movie though. But if it looks similar to that, so I'm excited. I mean, it's the future. I mean, I'm not saying I'm hoping that all movies are made like that, but it's the future of having this, more than one animation style and digital animation style than before. So I'm looking forward to it. Next, we have Thai protesters sing Hamtaro theme at pro-democracy demonstration. Now, I haven't watched Hamtaro, but I know Hamtaro is hilarious because I've seen clips from it. Clips from it. So I think that's funny. I wish I had the article, but I forgot to click on it. So I'm sorry, people. Next, we have, and this is a funny one too. We have Florida congressional candidate warns of internet anime porn like Dragon Ball Z.
Say what? Florida man strikes again.
I'm confused. What is being said here?
So Florida congressional candidate K.W. Miller warned his nearly 40,000 Twitter followers of the great deal of anime porn that exists on the internet. The independent party candidate for Florida's 18th district pointed to Akira Toriyama and Toei Animation's Dragon Ball Z as one of the top issues. Now, this is the tweet. This is what the tweet says. The tweet says, they are now introducing a great deal of anime porn into the internet matrix. Dragon Ball Z is one of the top issues here. They are sexualizing cartoon characters to push a depraved agenda on our kids. What's next? Where will it end? If you needed another reason to not live in Florida, here it is. Okay, if you needed another one. Oh my gosh, KW Miller himself is already a fucking lunatic, but Florida. You never cease to amaze us. That's all I gotta say. Next, we have Seven Deadly Sins series is getting a one-shot manga. It's Seven Deadly Sins, I believe. I forget when it ended, but it's been ended for a little bit now. But they are getting their one-shot soon. I'm waiting for the article to load. There we go. They're getting their one-shot. So the official website for Kodansha Weekly Shonen Magazine announced on Wednesday that Nakabe Suzuki will publish a one-shot manga for his Seven Deadly Sins manga in the magazine's combined 36th and 37th issue. The manga will follow, and again, if you haven't finished it, I'm sorry for the spoilers, whatever. The manga will follow. It ended on March 25th, and Kodansha published the manga's 41st and final volume on May 15th. There's no spoilers. None of these are spoilers. I want to know what's going to happen. No. None of these are fucking spoilers. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so a one shot's coming out. I don't know what it's about, but a one shot is coming out. If you're a Seven Deadly Sins fan, go ahead and check it out, especially if you read it. Even though I heard the last chapter the last few chapters were fucking horrendous. So I don't have much faith. And the last season's animation was garbage,
Oh, it was so
dumpster
bad.
trash, garbage.
That
I couldn't even
that
watch
whole
it.
show is overrated.
The last few chapters were horrendous.
Season
Trash,
1 and
in
2
my
wasn't that bad. The movie was okay, but what they bastardized that last season. I don't even understand.
Yeah, I couldn't watch that last season.
Next, we have Crunchyroll surpasses 3 million users, which makes me happy because I love Crunchyroll. So, I mean, I'll say this. Crunchyroll is the only one I actually like so far. Funimation sucks, and I still have to try High Dive Out and Verve. But, for mainstream, Crunchyroll is doing some good shit. You know what I mean? The stuff with Meg the Stallion is doing the stuff with Yadoye, his little podcast, 8-part podcast. Yadoye, he's a funny ass comedian, Yadoye. They're doing stuff with him. So, they're doing a lot of stuff. I probably say Yadoye's name wrong, but whatever. They're doing a lot of cool stuff, for Black people and all like that. So I'm with it. Next up, Masamune Kun's Revenge manga gets a special chapter. Now, I said this not because I'm going to read it or anything like that, because this anime was really good, and I'm really mad there's no more extra seasons. So I might read the manga. Who knows? Probably won't, but I'll say I might. And I just want them to bring it back. So go read that special chapter if you're a reader. I may or may not pick it up. Who knows? Next, we have Niantic donates $10 million to support the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, if you don't know who Niantic is,
Pokemon Go, right?
Yeah,
I
Pokemon Go.
think that's yeah.
All right. So my laptop kind of just crashed, people. So I'm not going to read any more articles for the news. But we're going to end off where I stopped, which is with Niantic donating $10 million to support Black Lives Matter movement, which I think is really cool. That the people who made Pokemon Go, which is super big in America, still kind of. I mean, they had the whole raid thing go on a while ago, and I don't even know people are still playing it like that. But they did that. Next, we have Toonami premieres Fire Force Anime's second season on October 24th. They're going to start doing, finishing off, I believe, season 1 or start season 1 now. I forget what they're doing for it, but all I know is that's good. More people need to watch Fire Force. Fire Force is amazing. Watch it. Next, we have KO Tecmo lists Western release for Persona 5 Scramble, the Phantom Strikers game. This one's more of a RPG compared to the regular turn-based one that we had, open RPG instead of the turn-based one. So I'm kind of interested in how the community feels about that and they'll react to that when that comes out in the West. So interested. Next, we have Funimation adds Hunter x Hunter anime in US and Canada, along with a few others, but Hunter x Hunter being the biggest one. I didn't know this was not Funimation, but it also reminds me of Funimation is fucking trash. Next, retro. Go ahead.
Sorry, I just does it say if it's the full Hunter x Hunter anime? Because Netflix has the first 100 episodes, but it's there's 148 or 147, something like that.
I think Funimation has the full. I'm not sure. Again, my laptop is fucking dead, so I can't even click the article because I had it open, but I'm looking at an empty screen right now. It's just, I'm just saying I'm pissed right now. Okay. I hate this fucking laptop. Next, we have Retro Crush also launches as a linear streaming service. They're kind of changing up how they do things now. I actually have Retro Crush on my phone still. It's really good for older anime that I've never heard of before. So I've been watching a few on there. I watched GTO on there. I watched this one called Eat Man 98. And I think I started watching one other one on there, but it's pretty good. You can watch it on browser. There's apps for it. And I think they're trying to expand some more. So definitely a good watch. They released a Death Note wristwatch, an official Death Note wristwatch. And it comes with a secret compartment for your little Death Note paper. So, yeah, this is kind of cool. I mean, I think we talked about a One Piece watch that came out a few weeks ago. And now we have this. So I think it's cool. Anime style coming up. Now we have Oriyasuki, Are You the Only One That Loves Me? Manga ends on August 23rd. This is a really good show that I liked.
That anime is really good.
Really good.
The anime is really good.
Bench Kun is the best antagonist in all of anime. No one can tell me different. I love it. I hope the new season comes out soon. Actually, because I don't remember if that was the last season they're doing, but I hope another one comes out. Really good show. I think there is one. There's definitely more coming out. I just can't totally remember the news I heard.
I hope so.
I believe there is. I think there's one that comes out that's going to be about the day of the game that like all these things happened on, and Ori Seeking is the funniest thing ever because every time it's like, oh yes, I remember last year.
Everything is the baseball game.
Everything is the baseball game. Oh my stuff. I said, oh my gosh, I said, oh my gosh. Anyway, I was reading this too. Anyway, but next we have Uzumaki Anime is delayed to 2021. Uzumaki they're doing a redo of Junji Ito's anime or one of the stories that's being redone as an anime on Adult Swim. So Adult Swim, we're about to do a few Adult Swim news in a minute. Adult Swim Con was on Sunday, and they released a lot of shit because I gotta understand something. And I keep telling people this, and this is something I ranted about for a little bit. People keep calling anime and saying that's something that's only Japanese. That's not the truth anymore. I'm sorry. Sorry for y'all weebs or y'all whatever the fuck you want to call yourselves, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself. Y'all, anime is not Japanese only. And that's just a fact. In the 90s, early 2000s, 80s, something like that, yes, you're right. It was. It's not anymore. And it never will be again. Adult Swim is personally publishing anime on its channel now. And it's coming from Japanese studios, but it's going to an American channel. So y'all need to shut the fuck up.
They'll move the goalposts. They'll say it has to come from. I've had that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, shout out to Adult Swim and Toonami for really bringing anime to America like that though. Like most of us got introduced to anime from that source. Like you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like so, yeah.
That's 100. I really respect them for that, especially doing that. Next, we have interview with Blade Runner Black Lotus director Shinji Aramaki and Kenji Kamiyama. Reveals anime will debut in 2021. I was actually looking forward to this. I didn't know when the release date was, so now it's in 2021. I can't wait for it. This is another Adult Swim anime. Y'all just getting fucked today.
They're going in.
They're going in. Next, Tower of God. Not from Adult Swim Con. Tower of God staff makes an 8-minute short for Rick and Morty animated series. So, guess what? That's also on Adult Swim. Rick and Morty's American, so y'all can. I'm gonna keep talking my shit. Lastly, Crunchyroll. Adult Swim announced anime original called Fina Pirate Princess anime for 2021. They also released a short clip of it, a preview for it. So you can go ahead and watch that and, move the goalposts on their post, but it's anime and y'all just gonna fucking deal with it. That's just life, okay? Next up, Attack on Titan releases a shochu liquor in collaboration with Omatsu Brewing. I want a sip of that. You know what I'm saying? Get drunk, man. I need that shit. That's not, I mean, especially if you in the world of Attack on Titan, I'll be drunk every day. I'll drink myself to death by now. Fuck that place.
Been an alcoholic.
Oh my gosh. Next up, Junji Ito confirms Hideo Kojima has talked with him about working on a possible horror game project, which I think is a crazy. Imagine Hideo Kojima's mind. Match up with Junji Ito's
terrifying game ever.
What? That game would go. It would be terrifying, and it would be like have one of the best stories and like political commentary and like fuck, like you're gonna get eaten by like Trump's hair or some shit. I don't know. It's gonna be fucking wild, but I hope they end up doing it. I'm buying a PS5 this year, so I'll actually be able to hop on the Konami train, so Kojima train. So next up, Kamen Rider franchise gets a new game for PS4 and Switch in Japan and Southeast Asia on October 29th. I know some people that like Kamen Rider, so if you want to play a game for them, here you go. Lisa's Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba song tops 1 million downloads. All right, that's crazy. That was the opening for Demon Slayer.
That's the OP.
Song.
Yeah.
Yes, OP.
That OP is really good. Yeah, that song's really, really.
That shit hits. Next up, manga artist Sumito Owari responds to following CG erotic art of child characters on Pixiv, which I think is like his site. I wish I had an article for this because this is the guy who, oh my gosh, it's pissing me off. Because if I told you who this guy was, the art, what he's written, what he did the manga art for is like some of the most popular manga. Well, we're not popular manga, but one of the popular series that came out. I'm about to tell y'all right now. He did Keep Your Hands Off Aizoken, which is wild. Because if you've read this, it's about children, kids in high school, like making manga. And it's an amazing story. It was amazing animated, amazingly, or very well. And for him to be the manga artist and to be drawing kitty porn, come on now. Come on now. Like,
yeah, that's sick. Especially after writing a story about kids.
Come on, right? Like that's fucked up. Next, anime fan couple names their son after Black Clover's Asta. So this little Asta running around somewhere. Little Asta running around. Next, we're gonna have Lionsgate releases Ghost in the Shell anime film on Ultra HD 4K Blu-ray disc on September 8th. Next, we have G4 teases their channel return in 2021. I didn't watch a lot of G4 growing up, but from what I've seen, that people loved it. I don't really watch it like that, but
I watched a little bit of it. I had a couple shows on, but like I watched X Play on there. I don't even remember what that show was, but I remember I watched it. I remember, I think they were the first ones I saw that had the Ninja Warrior show, the obstacle course game show or whatever. I think that was the first place I saw that show on there too. That's all I really remember from them though.
Olivia Munn came from, like she used to
host
a show on there, right?
Yeah, that's
all I remember about G. That's all I remember about G.
All you remember is Olivia Munn. I mean, that's a good reason to remember. I understand.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I respect it. Last two news we have for today, things in gaming news. If you watch the Xbox Microsoft thing that came out, they had talked about Phantasy Star Online 2. New Genesis is announced for 2021. I did play Phantasy Star 1, Online 1, but I'll probably play this. It looks dope. The graphics looks amazing. Lastly, we have Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Film opens on April 8th, 2022. Excited for that. First movie. Heard great things. We talked about it a little bit before. Keith and Brandon both gave it high praise.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed that first movie.
Yeah. Much better than I thought it was going to be. Like, it was excellent.
Yeah. And maybe it's because I walked into the theater with no expectations. It just ended up like really pleasantly surprised that I really enjoyed that movie a lot. Really surprised.
Jim Carrey steals the movie.
Yeah.
Like, he's amazing as Dr. Robotnik.
So
I really need to watch.
Maybe I'll check it. Probably not.
We don't. Why you shut it down like that? Oh my gosh. I was about to say something. That was so funny. But I'm pretty sure the next one they're probably have like Tails and Knuckles in it, and Knuckles is my favorite character solely because I forget what Sonic game it was, but you could do like the Knuckles missions. You could like dig for treasure.
Sonic 2.
Like that. Sonic 2, bruh. I used to play that game for like days, and I would do like every single Knuckles. I fucking love Knuckles missions. So, interested to see where they go with the movie in the next one. But that's all the news you have for today. So next we go into the best segment, the best part in any anime podcast across the world. Last words. Talk your shit. Slander. I'm okay with that.
I guess I'll go first. This isn't, well, if anyone follows me on Twitter, this isn't new to them, but I just want to remind everyone that Black Clover is trash.
Okay. Woo! You in the right pod. I thought you did something else, and you came through. You came through. Good job.
I just want to remind everyone that Black Clover is trash. That's really all the slander I got right now. Black Clover stinks. That's about it. I don't want to go on tangent. I don't want to give it.
Keith, we can do. I'll release a whole troll episode talking about Black Clover being trash. You know what I mean? I'm okay with it. I don't give a fuck.
I could come back for that episode. I could come back for that.
Oh, what you got for us?
Oh man, I ain't got no slander, for nobody. But I will, I just want to leave on a positive note, like for like Black creators out there. Really take the time, do it, do the work. You know what I mean, and don't do the work. Try to be as professional as possible in your execution and remember that nobody owes you. That's one of the big pet peeves, I guess. You run into a lot that want you to give them all of the back, everything that you work hard for. They want you to give it to them. You got it. You got to work the way I work. I'll give you something. I'll give you some nuggets. You got to go out and grind and really put in the sweat equity. Because if you don't, if I give you everything and you fall and you stop doing it, it'll fall off. You know what I mean? So really, Black creators, build your brands, build your process, keep fighting.
And 100, because at the end of the day, when people look at your product, they look at what you're doing. They're gonna look at what you do. They're not gonna look at what the person next to you did, person behind you and forward you. If you do bad, they're gonna be like, it's you. So you gotta rep your own brand. You gotta be the one to stand on your 2 feet and make sure no one looks down on your brand. And your brand is you as a person.
Yep.
So you gotta make sure.
And I'll say this to add on to that too, that the grind is where where you get the real value, you know, because when it's handed to you, it's not this, it don't hit this when you grinded it, but the values, and that's where you make all your mistakes, learn. That's where you figure out what happens. I mean, what works and what doesn't. That's all. You can't fake that. You can't really bypass. You try to, you got no foundation to really stand sturdy on.
Yeah,
that's 100.
And hey, you could be in a diamond field. Don't quit because you found a piece of coal. You know what I mean?
Hey, you're right. Pressure makes diamonds, and if you afraid getting a little cold, you ain't never gonna make the diamond. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Bo, put down the fork. Come on now, this nigga eating.
Words. Thank you again, first off, to Brandon and Keith for jumping on the podcast. Really appreciate you guys. Nothing but the best. Was nothing but the best for Concept Moon Studios, and I'm sure we'll stay in touch and talk to you guys some more. So that was dope. Everybody go support Concept Moon Studios. And last words. Haikyuu is the best sports anime and manga ever created.
Talk that shit. Now, Keith, don't say that goddamn word.
I decided I wasn't going to. I have my differing opinion.
Smart man.
I will
Okay.
leave it alone.
For my last words, I'm gonna thank Keith first, for slandering Black Clover for me. Can't do it, yeah. Thank you. Secondly, as always, just in general, we're gonna thank Concept Moon Studios for not only agreeing to be on our podcast, but agreeing to be the spotlight for this month. You can read all about them on our website, blxxkanime.com. Under the Spotlight tab, you can read all about them on there. You can get links to their website, to their library, to their books. Please check out their work. They're doing amazing things over there. Really interesting stuff that they're doing, and I think that everybody should at least go check it out. I want to thank y'all for coming on the pod and talking with us and hanging with us. It's a really great discussion. Y'all said a lot of really cool, a lot of really inspiring things that I'm hoping that the future creators, if you're listening, we're listening to that. And if you're just, a consumer, you know what I mean? These are the kind of people that you want to buy from. You want to buy from people that not only are inspiring to other creators, but they're so passionate about their work. They're not afraid of a little competition. So really appreciate everything y'all have said on here today and everything that y'all have, everything y'all said here today and everything that, just for talking to us. Like, that's amazing. So really, really glad to have y'all on.
And thanks again to you guys for having us on, man. Like we're just trying to, get the word out about us. So we really appreciate you guys giving us the chance to really come on, tell your listeners and, you guys getting to know us too, but letting your audience.
So really great. Now, last for my little bit of slander, my little dip in the slander pool. Goblin Slayer movie. I don't know who made you, but fuck you. I had so much promise. I had so much promise for that movie. I was expecting so much. And that's the problem. I always get my expectations up. I get disappointed. But even if I did not have any expectations, it still would have fucking sucked. It was literally just a long episode, and I don't understand why. Just call it a special. You don't have to call it a movie. Just say y'all dropping a Goblin Slayer special. Just take off the movie title. Take down all the promotion. Take it down. And just call it a special. Because that's all it is. With a 30-minute recap. The movie is an hour and 25. And 25 to 29 minutes is a recap of the entire season. Shut it down.
Wow.
Shut it down. But anyway, thank y'all for listening. Actually, y'all got to take the outro last week. This is gonna be the outro this week, so I'm just kind of talking. There's gonna be like music playing underneath me and everything right now, or has been probably for like a minute now. I don't know how fucking long I'm gonna make the fucking music, but there's an outro about to play soon. So thank y'all for listening. Keith, Brandon, thank y'all for coming. Let's say bye to the peoples as the music plays.
Bye, everyone.
It's so hard to say goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Hey everyone, it's Bruni, aka the Tiny Giant, aka the baddest bitch on this podcast. Here to thank you for listening to this episode of the Blxxk Anime Podcast. If you want to join the discussion with myself and the other hosts, connect with us on Twitter and Instagram at Blxxk Anime. Again, that's at Blxxk Anime. I also want to remind everyone to check out our Patreon. The link will be in the description. Depending on the tier you subscribe to, you'll gain access to exclusive pods with our monthly guests, the link to join Discord servers with other listeners, and the Blxxk Anime hosts, and discounts for Blxxk Anime merch. Again, thank you for listening to the episode, and don't forget to look out for the next one.